Good evening and welcome to the Town of Eastchester Zoning Board of Appeals meeting for October. Today is Tuesday, October 14th, 2025. We begin our meetings with a Pledge of Allegiance. Please rise.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, while everyone's getting settled in, I usually take this time to go over some of the ground rules, so nothing has really changed. We use Robert's Rules of Parliamentary Order, which is the same set of rules that most government and quasi-government agencies utilize. Just a quick highlight, action is taken by motion, resolution, and vote, and the public will have an opportunity to be heard when recognized by the chair, which I'll go over in a little while as to new applications. Another item to note, no new correspondence is accepted after the close of the public hearing on any matter. Many people will comment by email or send letters in, and those are all part of the public record. They're all marked submitted with the documents and all else that go into an application, and the public is often given an opportunity to be heard on an application. Once we close the public hearing, there can be no further commentary, and anything that does come in will not be considered as part of the application. Tonight we have a four-member board. I have some agenda notes. There are two items on our calendar that have been adjourned on consent. One is 25-66, 18 Stebbins Avenue, and the other is 25-56, that's Eastchester LLC Equinox. Those matters will be heard in the November meeting. Next item, I make a motion to approve the minutes of the September 9th, 2025 meeting. Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Cahalan, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we have, having gone over the adjourned matters, we have 9 matters on the resolution calendar, which will be resolved in a moment, and we have some new business items. I want to go through those to make sure that the applicant is here and ready to proceed. So number 1, that's 25-6272 Woodruff. Is the applicant here? Are you ready to proceed? Thank you. The second item is the 16 Arlington Road application. Ready to proceed? Okay. Number 3 has been adjourned. Number 4, 25-2116 Greystone Circle. Ready to proceed? Okay. And 25-64, that's the Tuckahoe Avenue application. Is the applicant here? Okay. All right, so that's last on the calendar anyway. Counselor, that'll be adjourned if they do not appear, or is that marked off?
Sure.
Okay.
Right.
Okay,
We'll
great.
adjourn it.
Okay. Great. Okay, so let's, let me first comment on new applications. The way we proceed here, the matter has been marked submitted. All of the applicants' documentation are part of the public record. Frequently, board members visit the site or go on premises. We've all reviewed the application. In the interest of expediting applications, you don't need to sit here and read your application. You can if you want. It's not going to help your application. It's not going to hurt. It's your decision. But I would generally ask you to summarize your application, and at that point, the board would have an opportunity to ask questions, sometimes make comments, and then on appropriate motion and resolution, the public will be heard, and any commentary by the public, generally an applicant will be given an opportunity to respond, and then it'll go back to the board. So that's how new applications are heard. So anyway, getting to the resolution calendar, let's start with number 1, 25-38, that's Siwanoy Country Club. I make a motion to grant the requested variances for application 25-38, Siwanoy Country Club, 1 Siwanoy Clubway, for the reasons explained in the resolution prepared for this meeting and subject to the conditions listed in the resolution. Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Cahalan. To the vote. Mr. Cahalan?
Yes.
Mr. Miller?
Yes.
Mr. Conway?
Yes.
I vote yes. That application's been approved 4-0. Okay, next item on the resolution calendar is bifurcated. It's 25-35, 197 Old Wilmont Road. First part of this, I make a motion to grant the requested building-related variances, identified as variances 1, 2, 3, and 4, in the proposed resolution for application 25-35, 197 Old Wilmont Road, for the reasons explained in the resolution prepared for this meeting and subject to the conditions listed in the resolution. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Mr. Cahalan. To the vote, Mr. Cahalan?
I will vote yes.
Mr. Miller?
Yes.
Mr. Conway?
Yes.
I vote yes. That part of the application has been approved 4-0. I also make a motion to grant the requested driveway-related variance identified as variance 5 in the proposed resolution for the application 25-35, 197 Old Wilmont Road, for the reasons explained in the resolution prepared for this meeting and subject to the conditions listed in the resolution. Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Miller. To the vote. Mr. Cahalan?
I'll vote no on that.
Mr. Miller?
I'll vote yes.
Mr. Conway?
Yes.
I vote yes. That's been approved 3-1. Okay. Item number 325-44. This is 62 Brombach Avenue. I make a motion to grant the requested variances for application 25-44, 62 Brombach Avenue, for the reasons explained in the resolution prepared for this meeting and subject to the conditions listed in the resolution. Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Miller. To the vote. Mr. Cahalan?
Yes.
Mr. Miller?
Yes.
Mr. Conway?
Yes.
I vote yes. That's been approved 4-0. Item number 4 on the resolution calendar, 25-45, 138 Park Avenue. I make a motion to grant the requested variances for application 25-45, 138 Park Avenue, for the reasons explained in the resolution prepared for this meeting and subject to the conditions listed in the resolution. Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Cahalan. To the vote. Mr. Cahalan?
Yes.
Mr. Miller?
Yes.
Mr. Conway?
Yes.
I vote yes. That application has been approved 4-0. Number 5, 25-51, 28 Central Drive. I make a motion to grant the requested variance for application 25-51, 28 Central Drive for the reasons explained in the resolution prepared for this meeting and subject to the conditions listed in the resolution. Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Conway. To the vote. Mr. Cahalan?
No.
Mr. Miller?
Yes.
Mr. Conway?
Yes.
I vote yes. That's been approved 3-1. Application number 6, 25-43, 3 Hanfling Road. I make a motion to grant the requested variances for application 25-43, 3 Hanfling Road, for the reasons explained in the resolution prepared for this meeting and subject to the conditions listed in the resolution. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Mr. Cahalan. To the vote, Mr. Cahalan?
I will vote yes.
Mr. Miller?
Yes.
Mr. Conway?
Yes.
I vote yes. That application's been approved 4-0. Number 7, 25-55, 99 Lawrence Avenue. I make a motion to grant the requested variances for application 25-55, 99 Lawrence Avenue, for the reasons explained in the resolution prepared for the meeting and subject to the conditions listed in the resolution. Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Cahalan. To the vote, Mr. Cahalan.
Yes.
Mr. Miller.
Yes.
Mr. Conway.
Yes.
I vote yes. That has been approved 4-0. Number 8, this is 25-37. This is 367 White Plains Road. I make a motion to grant the requested variances for application 25-37, 367 White Plains Road, for the reasons explained in the resolution prepared for this meeting and subject to the conditions listed in that resolution. Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Miller. To the vote. Mr. Cahalan?
Yes.
Mr. Miller.
Yes.
Mr. Conway?
Yes.
I vote yes. That's been approved 4-0. Last item on the resolution calendar, 25-53, 4N Place. I make a motion to grant the requested variance for application 25-53, 4N Place, for the reasons explained in the resolution prepared for this meeting and subject to the conditions listed in the resolution. Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Cahalan. To the vote. Mr. Cahalan?
Yes.
Mr. Miller?
Yes.
Mr. Conway?
Yes.
I vote yes. That application's been approved 4-0. Okay. Moving on to new business. First item on the calendar is 25-62, 72 Woodruff Avenue. And if the applicant or the presenter can step forward to the podium, name and address for the record, and please proceed.
Good evening. My name is Craig Studer for Jeff Mose Architects, and with me tonight is the clients, Elisa Caputo and Zachary Vanderkal. And this application, I'll make it very brief as you asked, is for really a portico in the front yard setback. It's an existing non-conforming property in the R5 zone, which requires a 30-foot front yard setback. This house was built prior to zoning. There's a massive setback from the street, the right-of-way. We're actually 39 feet from the front face of the house, the main body of the house, to the curb line. The house is existing non-conforming with a 20.2-foot setback to the main body. There is a little bit of a projection there to the front door, which does not have an overhang of 5 feet, rendering that about 15.2 feet. What we're proposing to do is to put a portico, the full width of that little projection, that comes out 4 feet 8 inches, that allows for my client, the inhabitants of the house, to deal with the getting in and in a rain situation. They have a lot of packages that are delivered that are getting ruined from not being protected a little bit from the rain. And when they have company over, it's a little bit more comfortable. This past season, we didn't have a lot of rain, but it is an issue. The second variance that we're asking for is lot coverage. This portico that we're proposing is literally the landing and a little bit of a projection, but it's the width of the landing plus 2 feet on either side for a little bit more than 20, or a little less than 20 square foot increased impervious to what's existing today. I would like to note that prior to 2023, our clients purchased the property and they took out, it was a 4-car garage in the back, they converted it to a 3-car garage, well, 2-car garage with the portico on it, and they removed a major portion of asphalt paving. I have documents that show that, but that was done 2 years ago, over 2 years ago. We don't feel that this application is any detriment to the neighbors or the neighborhood, and it doesn't change the character in any way. I could present if you would like. Don't know what I did with them. Can I approach the board to give several images from the Westchester County web?
Sure, please do.
If you could just also use the microphone if you want to present anything. The microphone can come with
microphone
you,
with you.
but yeah, here. Yeah, correct.
Yeah, sorry, we have a stenographer who takes minutes, and it has to be projected into the... There you go.
I may break out in song. No, I'm kidding.
Requests only?
So there are 2 of them together, so take 2 each or whatever. I
Okay.
get 6 copies. The first image,
Maybe if you don't mind, if you want to put the 2 of them up on the board?
sure.
And we
May
could
I
just
take
pass
2
the
back?
rest around?
Thank
Thank you.
No,
It's just base stamps different.
The first of the 2 images illustrates the house as it is. This is really shows more of the streets. The home is the one with the brown roof, the second one in from the corner, or third one in from the corner. My math is bad. It's the second one in from the corner. And on that, you can see how the neighbors' houses 2 doors down and further down, their addresses are 76 and 78. Even the further one, 84, they're all forward of our house, the house subject property. And they're much closer to the setback line, property line in the front yard. And you can see the property line on that image. The second images that I show from the Westchester County map is prior to 2023, and it shows the massive amount of asphalt that used to be in the backyard, and the size of the roof of the garage structure in the back. Our clients went in, received a building permit to remove a major portion of that asphalt and take out a third Actually, it was a quarter of that roof, and that is also illustrated. If you flipped back to the first image, you can see where there's now lawn. So that action offsets the increase that we're asking of the 20 square feet in variance. If I can answer any questions. Oh, if I may, I'm going to pass the torch to Alyssa here.
Hi, thank you. I have 2 letters from neighbors. I'd be happy to read them, or I can just share them to you if helpful. And then I just have a quick statement I'd be happy to share or provide to you.
Yeah, feel free to make your statement, and we could certainly put those letters into the record.
Okay, great. So just very briefly, my husband and I purchased this house almost 3 years ago. It was the first home we've ever purchased, and I fell in love immediately. My husband was concerned with the lack of grass. We rectified that. It is our forever home. We have put time and love and effort and money into it, and I really hope that you grant this request. I think that it will add character to the house. I think it will help keep my shopping addiction in check and packages dry, and welcome friends and family as they, come to visit and stay with us. So that's just from me, but I'm very happy here and in this neighborhood, and hope to be here for many, many years. I have 2 letters. One is from Mr. Mark Ferreira, and just shares that he is writing in support of his neighbors at 72 Woodruff Avenue and their request for a variance to build a small front door overhang. He believes this improvement will enhance the look of our home and have no negative impact on our neighborhood. And then one is from Lena MacArthur, who lives on Alcmont Avenue. Mark Ferreira is on Alita Street. I didn't say that. And she says the same thing. She's writing to support our application for a variance, that the project is modest in scale and will blend in with the character of the neighborhood and not cause any negative effects. So I have copies of each should you like them, but that's it. Thank you.
Thank you. We could make that part of the record.
Sure, yeah, we'd love the copies
Okay.
for the record, thank you.
I want to basically close our presentation by saying that this is a portico. It's the roof that we're asking for a variance. The front door and the facade of the house stays where it is. So not to say it's transparent, but I think the perception of being closer to the road is diminished because it's open air portico.
Okay. Well, thank you for your presentation. This time, we'll take it to the board for any questions or possibly comments. Mr. Cahalan?
I don't understand how the variance is 66%. When I looked at the application, you're asking for a small structure. You're 40 feet off the sidewalk. So is it just the math that?
It's the math because it's existing non-conforming
It's
house.
existing non-conforming, that's causing the problem.
That's correct.
All right, thank you, that helps me.
Anything else? Mr.
Be
Cahalan?
quiet now.
No, that's fine. Mr. Miller?
None.
Mr. Conway?
Nothing for me.
I don't have anything at this time. I make a motion to open the public hearing on this matter. Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Cahalan, all in favor?
Aye.
Would anyone from the public like to be heard on this application? Okay, seeing nobody, I make a motion to close the public hearing on this matter. Is there a
I'll second that as well.
Thank you, Mr. Cahalan. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, back to the board. Mr. Cahalan, anything?
No, nothing else.
Mr. Miller?
Still none.
Mr. Conway?
Still nothing.
Okay, my only comment is that in your presentation and in your application, you've seemed to satisfy the 5-part test to my liking. It's certainly not going to be a detriment to the community. It'll be the opposite, and it's certainly in character with the community. I think you did a very good job being very thorough and highlighting that. The only thing I have left is to make a motion to adjourn this matter for resolution only at the next meeting. Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Cahalan, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you for your presentation. Okay, the next application is 25-6316 Arlington Road. If you give me your name and address for the record, and please proceed.
Frank Diodati, engineer of record. Sorry. Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. I'm joined by my clients, Bob and Maureen Ryder of 16 Arlington. We're before your board this evening for 2 variances for proposed in-ground fiberglass pool located in the rear yard of the property. We are currently in an R7.5 zone, and we're seeking 2 variances One is for a rear lot line for the pool, and the second is a distance from a principal building. We do have letters of support from both neighbors that I believe were provided for you guys in your packet. Both my clients unfortunately had their knees replacement, so they need this pool for aquatic therapy and also for somewhat of enjoyment, but mainly for rehabilitation. I did get a letter from the doctor that I would like to provide you, or make it part of the record if it's possible, stating that they do need aquatic therapy for their issues. The proposed pool is 12 by 25. It's a fiberglass drop-in. It's small by current day standards. Traditionally, it's a 20 by 40. But that's basically the largest pool that we feel that they can accommodate their rehab, and that's why we went with this 12 by 25, which would allow, again, for rehabilitation for these folks. In addition, we are providing drainage to the town of Eastchester's requirement. And in doing some research, we did notice that the next door neighbor at 20 Arlington was granted a variance for a pool installation also. I did do an aerial of some other ones that were further away, but that's pretty much the gist of it. I mean, we don't feel it'll be a detriment to the neighbors. We got the letters of support from the neighbors, so we're hoping that we would be granted this variance.
Okay, thank you for your presentation. Before I go to the board, usually with applications of this nature, we have the fire department take a look at clearance. Counselor, was there a?
Sure, yes, we did refer this application to the fire department, and it was reviewed, and they did not have an issue. They were satisfied with the 10-foot separation that will be provided.
Yeah, thank you, because I was going to chime in on that. The 10-foot separation, and why we moved it off the house, a minimum of 10, was for fire apparatus, rescue, and ladder, for the fire department to have access there.
Thank you. Okay, to the board for questions or comments. Mr. Cahalan?
So, yeah, my first question is, I didn't see the pool filtration equipment on the plans.
It's located right here. It is.
Yeah, please take the mic. Thank you.
We did locate it where it was zoning compliant right here. It was a 6-foot minimum yard setback. I think I went over this with Mr. Valente before.
I see that. So, okay, that's good. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, we're holding 10 foot from the rear, from the right-hand side neighbor, which is zoning compliant.
Yeah, and always with pools, I worry about the neighbors hearing the filter go on and off all day long, so.
We anticipate on screening it. It's going to be fenced in also, but in addition, our client said he would screen it also. And with this one, traditionally, we usually would use a gas-fired boiler. We're going to go with an electric heat pump for this because it's such a small pool.
Okay.
So minimize the impact. We thought about that for the neighbor.
So then the other thing that I have a question on is the 4-foot, you only have a 4-foot setback in the back. Is that because you pushed it that way because of the house?
We pushed it that way to meet the minimum requirement for the fire, the 10-foot separation, yes. And we did get a letter of support from the rear yard
Yeah,
neighbor.
public, it's great. The letters don't mean much to me personally.
Okay.
I think about the town as an overall
Understood.
process. But, I'm not impressed either way with the public's, when they support an applicant. I care about the law that we have to interpret.
Okay.
Okay? So, thank you for that, but that answers my questions.
Okay, anything further, Mr. Cahalan?
I'll think about it.
Okay, Mr. Miller?
No questions.
Mr. Conway?
No questions for me.
I don't have anything at this time. I make a motion to open the public hearing on this matter. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
And all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Would anyone from the public like to be heard? Okay, seeing no one, I make a motion to close the public hearing on this matter. Is there a second? Mr. Miller, all in favor?
Jump in there.
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Mr. Cahalan, anything further? Questions, comments?
No, nothing further.
Mr. Miller?
Still none.
Mr. Conway?
No.
With some applications, the four corners can tell you a lot. Sometimes we visit the sites. But I think in your presentation, there are a couple of concerns that you answered for me. I wasn't really understanding the size and why the pool was being pushed where it is and why there are other requests for equipment. So I think, you've done what you could to mitigate the issue. we frequently, with applications like this, impose conditions, and I'd like to know a little bit more about screening before I close this out.
Okay. Well, currently, there is a solid vinyl fence that runs along the rear property, so that's 6 foot, but along the common property line here, they were talking about adding either some arborvitae or some cypress evergreens or some skip laurels. Am I correct with that? Yeah, along this. And a 6 foot fence, yes.
Which we've already talked to the neighbor about.
You may, if I may, have
Yes.
that on the record, please? Yeah.
Sure, yes, you could put that on the record, yes.
Oh, okay. Counselor?
Back of the house?
Well, I'd like to avoid the crosstalk. I just want to get all this on the
Oh,
record.
the height of the fence?
Yeah, it's allowed from the back of the house, right?
Right, and as
Okay.
long as it's out of the front yard,
Good.
which it would be.
Okay, so if I may flesh this out a little bit, because you're saying we're talking about it, I don't recall that being part of the application, was it?
I did not see the
No, it's not in
plantings on the site plan. Do you have the planting shown?
Planting shown, no, we don't.
And is the fence shown?
The fence is shown, yes.
Okay. So you have the fence, not the planting, but the planting doesn't have to be shown on the plan. If you wanted to have a condition that a row of, you can specify a species or evergreen plantings to a certain height, you could have the applicant, you can impose that as a condition. The applicant can submit an updated plan as a, to satisfy that condition.
Okay. Counselor, that's,
Okay,
that answers my question. Thank you very much.
okay.
Okay, so having said and heard all of that, I think I'm going to make a motion to adjourn this matter for resolution at the next meeting. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you for your
Great,
presentation.
thank you, appreciate it.
Okay. Welcome. Okay, next item on the calendar was adjourn, number 4, I'm sorry. Of course,
Sure, I'll
yes.
take it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Is that redacted as necessary?
We won't post it to the website, yeah.
Okay, next item is numbered 4, 25-21, 16 Greystone Circle. This has already been on the
Yes,
calendar
it's,
before. Name and address for the record, and please proceed.
Good evening, Board. Adalma Majorano from Community Designs and Engineering. So yeah, we were here before you, oh, not here. I wasn't here before you. The owner was here before you back in April of this year. They essentially built a new home at 16 Greystone Circle, and for the noted reasons in their 5-part test, they installed synthetic turf in their rear yard. They made a severe and honest mistake. It was known to them at their final inspection that the turf was not allowed as part of Eastchester's code. So in doing so, now after the board meeting back in April, we were called in to test the stormwater mitigation of this system. So we essentially came in also with the town consulting engineer to do some site tests. So just to summarize the stormwater part of the whole project, we did go out there over the summer months. We did some percolation tests. We actually did 3 different areas to see how much not the soil underneath, but the soil directly underneath this turf system will percolate. So essentially the turf itself is fully permeable. There's a layer of gravel underneath it, so that layer of gravel will hold a certain amount of stormwater. On top of that, some of that stormwater will percolate into the soil. Additionally, we looked at storing more than just this amount. So there is also a proposed trench drain at the edge of this turf that was installed that's in the landscape bedding, and that trench area will have a perforated drain pipe that will connect to the existing Coltec units. There's 35 Coltec 150s in the rear yard, so there is also overflow that will go into that system. There is more, it's designed for the 100-year storm, but there is reserve capacity that that system can hold. So on top of the gravel underneath the turf itself, there also is that overflow that can store into that existing system. So all in all, yes, the installation of this turf will be a benefit as far as the stormwater side of everything.
And from a stormwater perspective, we did have the town engineer review the proposed plans in a memorandum to your board issued October 6th. They agreed that the mitigation provided would be satisfactory. So that has been posted to the website with the application materials.
Okay, thank you. Anything further,
Hold on
Mr.
a second.
Majorano?
In that.
Hold on one second. Hold on.
What was that?
Let me just hear, do you have anything further on this?
I think that's, about
Okay.
it for that side of it.
Okay, to the board. Mr. Cahalan, please.
How's the baby?
Great,
Good,
thank you.
good. You look well, you look well.
2 of them, but
Better
yeah,
than the last time I saw you.
totally.
So, my question is in the consulting's, what the town said, it says it's acceptable, although not favorable. I hate to be a picayune on a sentence, but that caught my attention.
Well, I think what he's saying is that was acceptable but not favorable, but then he goes on to explain the additional measures by adding the trench drain.
That's
which
what
is why-
engineers do.
Right, so they mitigated that
Yeah.
issue with with the trench drain.
I'll make a statement, Mr. Chairman, just.
Please, go ahead.
Here's my-
Proceed.
Here's my problem. The zoning code is very specific not to allow turf in this town. So somehow the applicant decided they like turf, so they go and they put the turf in at whatever cost that they decided to incur. And now they're asking for our forgiveness to allow them to have basically turf in a huge area. This is a huge area of turf. I mean, I would love to be a kid on this thing playing ball someday, but it's wonderful. But my issue is the code is very specific about this. So I'm troubled by that. So,
Yeah, there's definitely more to this application than just the mitigation of stormwater. So this memo addresses only whether stormwater has been
and I
adequately
don't
addressed.
exactly agree, because having been in the town so long, when we get those storms, and we've had a couple in my tenure here that were more than 100 years, everything floods.
Yeah, so just to back up on that, the only benefit of, not saying that this is what anybody should do, install it and see what happens, but the only benefit is.
I understand.
I'm saying that on record, but the only benefit is, yes, we actually had very severe storms in the past. This is over a year, and it was installed not this past spring, the spring before. So we had a year and a half of very severe storms, and there hasn't been any complaints of any neighbor. This is also before we even install this additional emergency overflow system, which will obviously benefit, but no neighbors have complained that, hey, since this turf was here, I've had now some water run off into my, so that.
And again, as I said to the last applicant, it's great what the neighbors say and what they don't say, and I value their opinions, but it's about the code. It's about what's in the code and how do we interpret that, because part of our responsibility is to the whole town. The way I see it, I love my community. Do I want this to turn into Queens, the Bronx, and Brooklyn? And that's part of what our job is not to allow the green space to go away.
Sure.
So, like I said, I'll be quite honest, I can't see myself voting on this application in a positive way, regardless of whatever work they've done. The code to me is very clear on this, and the variance is, this is not a patch. This is not a patch of grass. This is a serious amount of turf that they've put down. So I'm troubled by this, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you for your input. Do you have any questions or anything further?
No, they've done a great presentation, and there's no problem with that. It's just that the code is very specific to this thing, and I always have trouble with people doing things and then asking for forgiveness. I just do.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Cahalan. Mr. Miller?
Just more of a curiosity. Who actually installed the turf?
The owner did, well,
The owner is
Yeah.
knowledgeable enough to install turf and put,
well, they had somebody install it.
so they had a contractor do it?
Yes, oh, yeah, yeah.
Did the contractor not mention, maybe I should get some permits? I should get permission from the building department? Yes, no,
I mean,
did
I
they?
don't wanna answer them, but yeah.
That's
so
gone out the window, John.
From what I
know.
understand, they did look into the code very thoroughly, and to be honest, it doesn't there's wording in there and verbiage, it just doesn't, this artificial turf or turf is not exactly in there, so for them, that's what they honestly did look through the code and tried to see is there any way calling the building department could help. It's just a matter of, it's not specifically stated in those terms.
I don't know if
That's
you
all.
want to go there.
Hold on. I want to get this all on the record.
Yeah, yeah.
Finish your statement, go ahead.
No, yes, that literally, that, for word, that is what they did. They researched to see if that was specifically stated in the code. Nobody came to me to ask, but that's.
Okay. Counselor?
Sure, let me
What
just
is
turn to
that?
that provision so I can read you. It does not use the term artificial turf. The gist of it, and I will read you the language of it, is that any surface that is not improved in some other way has to be a natural landscape surface. So, 117, okay.
That's why I said it's pretty clear.
Okay.
Well, going back to engineering terminology.
Right, all
let's-
portions of a lot subject to site plan review under section 11, which are not used for the location of building structures, parking lots, loading spaces, sidewalks, or similar purposes, shall be suitably landscaped and permanently maintained with planting of ground cover, grass, trees, and shrubbery in accordance with specifications approved as a part of the site plan or special permit.
So
That was approved in the site plan.
ground cover is what
Right.
they looked at. I don't know.
Grass, trees, and shrubbery.
But ground covers in there,
That
so
was
that's what
approved as
they're.
part of the site plan, according to what the code said.
Right, with the planting of ground cover, grass, trees,
There you
and
go.
shrubbery.
It's the ground cover term, I think, that they're trying to say that threw them off.
Boy, that's a
because
stretch.
All right, getting back to my question, did they have a contractor do this?
Yes.
Did the contractor mention to them, you need a permit?
Well, it falls under the, because essentially installing grass would be the same, so it falls under the building permit to finish the, surface area that you can't have just, so they finished it thinking that it's like they're installing grass, they're installing turf, and when they had their final inspection, then they realized, this is a problem.
I'm
So
not gonna
it's,
ask
you
any more
essentially don't get you wouldn't get a separate permit. No, I'm saying, you wouldn't get a separate permit, when you have a building permit to build a new house, you wouldn't get a separate permit to essentially call it and plant the grass, so that's kind of what they're installing.
Let me ask
back.
it this way. Did a contractor say to them, you're putting something here which may not be allowed, go speak to the building department?
It is hard because a lot of other municipalities do allow turf, so for the contractors backing, it's very rare. Eastchester, I believe, is one of the only ones that I know of that, like, Scarsdale, Larchmont, they do allow it. So Eastchester is very rare that they don't actually allow turf. Other towns do actually allow it.
My question was, did
We're
the
not anywhere else.
contractor
Hold on. Let's get this on the record, one at a
suggest
time.
to them that they check with the building department before they put in a football field of turf in their backyard?
Here, maybe, let me let the
Please.
owner. Yeah, I don't want to go
Let
back.
the owner,
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you. Mr. Miller, in answer to your question specifically,
Could you identify yourself, please, for the record?
I'm sorry?
Could you identify yourself?
Oh, Agostino De Feo. I am the father-in-law of Joseph Donato and Lisa Donato, who reside at 16 Greystone Circle. I also live in town on Forbes Boulevard. But in answer specifically to your question, neither the attorney, engineer, architect, or the vendor who installed the turf ever made note of the fact that it needed a permit. So we were innocently moving along, thinking there was nothing wrong with putting in turf. As a matter of fact, we were concerned about the aesthetics in terms of our neighbors, and the front of the property is grass, the side of the property is grass. The back was chosen to do turf because it environmentally looked better, given that no one has visibility to the back except for one or two homes. There's no other visibility, and it's consistent with the flow of what exists in the back. Regrettably, we wish we hadn't done it, but aesthetically it would have been actually detrimental not to do it. The benefits of doing it also in the back, in addition to the fact that it was not hindering any other person or any other house in the vicinity, consumption of water was a benefit that we thought about, number one. Noise level with lawn mowers emitting gases and not being as friendly to the environment, and then having a young family that allowed them to use the turf as a more year-round surface. And of course, we know that as well because of the town and obviously the number of fields that we're now putting up, and they all seem to have a level of turf. So specifically answers your question, I hope I've answered it straightforward. Yes, we were, I don't want to say duped, but we moved along innocently believing that there was nothing wrong to it. We did see some benefits. We do believe there are benefits. And from an aesthetic standpoint, it doesn't impact any of the neighbors one iota. Also, since we started on this sad journey, I think we've complied with every request that's been made of us. We've incurred expenses, time, and I think we've met the burden of everything that we've been asked to do. So I think that's really the summary of where we are.
Okay, thank you for your presentation.
Thank you very much.
Okay, Mr. Miller, anything further?
Nope, got my answer.
Mr. Conroy?
Yeah, I'm concerned about this too, from precedential impact perspective. Like it's, as Mr. Cahalan noted, the code's pretty clear on this. And it would seem like if we're to approve this, it's gonna be very difficult for us to turn down variance requests for synthetic turfs, going forward. And that's what I'm wrestling with right now. I mean, we literally just heard the last applicant tonight pointed out that we approved a similar variance request that they were seeking. So if we're to approve this, like, I don't even know how would we turn down another synthetic, turf request, variance request, like, in the future? Is there any way to distinguish this from any other, future applicant?
I really can't answer that question for you. I appreciate your concern, and I think it's a valid concern. However, given the specific situation that we found ourselves in, we were not advised by any of the professionals what needed to be done. Otherwise, we certainly wouldn't be here. But again, in our specific situation, there is no exposure to anyone with the turf. So it's really almost like, a closed-in environment that has no visibility unless you're in the sky.
So out of sight, out of mind, I guess.
I'm sorry?
So look, I'm sympathetic to people who make mistakes. I don't doubt this was an honest one. I make mistakes myself, so it happens. But this is a significant one.
Yeah.
So I just hope you guys can appreciate where we're coming from on this. At least where I'm coming from on this, it's a tricky one.
Absolutely, and yeah, to try to answer that too, I mean, so precedent, I would every situation is specific in its own. So, I would imagine moving forward, can everybody just say, hey, I made a mistake, I didn't know it was, not allowed. So okay, this is the second one before you guys, it's like starting just to come alive that people are starting to come forward with these scenarios. So, okay, it's still very new. If maybe it's clearly now I would imagine a lot of people know, hey, it's not allowed. Years ago, people probably didn't realize if turf was allowed or not, right? It could sort of be, hey, we're not sure if it's allowed. Now it's pretty open that now this is the second one before you, people are starting to know, hey, turf is not allowed. If it's even worded specifically in any type of approval, say going forward, planning board issues any type of approval, it specifically states turf is not allowed. Nobody could use that, hey, I made an honest mistake. So sort of answer that question, every project is specific. You could use this maybe excuse once. I doubt other people could just say, hey, I made a mistake, because it's
Never heard that before.
Yes, but this is pretty clear. This is this is the second one. So, and obviously wording in specific language of any type of approval. This is a new resident, it's a new resident. So in any type of, resolution, if that does become, because it's starting to come alive now as we see, if it's specifically stated, hey, you don't have a way out, it specifically says right here, turf is not allowed. So maybe that could help moving forward.
Yeah, I just wanted to clarify, just for the record, the last one that we're referring to, just for the purposes of the record going forward, that was 6 Sprague Road. The applicant came in with a request for turf in the rear yard of that property. There's a lengthy discussion about stormwater, like we had a discussion about stormwater in this one. There was also a discussion in that application about the owner's efforts and inability to grow grass in the rear yard. So I just wanted to remind the board of the
Thank you,
facts
I
of
do
that.
remember that.
And also, I would like to add to that, with respect to that application, there were specific reasons why the homeowner could not grow grass specific to the property itself. And also, they came in based upon their request to do this in advance because of the difficulties that they were facing in terms of drainage, because of what the soil was parked on top of. From what I believe, there was a landfill underneath that, and also they tried several times to grow different types of grass that was not able to grow any of it. And also, it was a very small piece of property. There were very specific things about that application that were not, that were very different from
Right.
an application like this.
It was a
Right,
last
and-
resort.
And
Hold on. For some reason, this application, everyone seems to be talking at the same time. The stenographer cannot get this down, so we only speak one at a time, and I'll recognize you when it's your time to speak. Go ahead,
wait, what am I?
please.
Where am I going? I
Did you want to
lost-
say something?
Oh, no, go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, for some reason, I think maybe we should step back and have a small civics lesson. So, I know they don't teach this today in school, but there are 3 branches of government, okay? There's the executive, and in our town, it's our mayor and it's our town attorney. And there's the legislative, which is the town council, and there's judicial. There are the courts, and we are a quasi-judicial tribunal. So we're essentially a court, okay? So we hear denials of applications based on either use or area, and we occasionally do interpretations. So what many of the board members are alluding to are the fact of the precedential value of a decision. And as usual, your applications are very thorough and you're very good on your feet. But the code clearly prohibits AstroTurf. It's not even a question. So we've wasted 15 minutes interpreting something that's not interpretable. It's clearly not allowed. Now the question becomes, what is the board going to do with the application as it relates to how you've applied the 5-part test, okay? But it has to be clear that, for me, that each board member is essentially saying the same thing. We're not judging the applicant. I've been on this board, we were discussing this earlier, 16, 17 years. Mr. DeFeo has been here before. He's a very valued member of this community, and I believe we've granted 1, maybe 2 variances in the past. It's got nothing to do with the applicant, and it has nothing to do with seeking forgiveness rather than permission, although those could sometimes are factors. And like Mr. Cahalan said, what the public says or doesn't say is meaningless. It's how the 5-part test is addressed. So that's what we're wrestling with. And the precedential value in this case has 0 to do with the other case. The only thing that has something in common is that the word AstroTurf appeared in that other matter. That was a last attempt at mitigating an issue. This is a first impression installation of AstroTurf. So these things are not controverted. We don't need to go sideways on all of this. So what I'm going to do at this point is make a motion to open this application for the public hearings. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Mr. Cahalan, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Would anyone like to be heard on this application? Oh. No. Would you like to be heard on this application? Okay. So seeing nobody, I'm going to make a motion to close the public hearing on this matter.
I'll second.
Mr. Cahalan, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Would the applicant like to say anything further?
No, just, again, I want to thank you for obviously giving us this opportunity, and I hope that, we're basically at the mercy of the board. It was an absolutely honest, innocent mistake, but again, we try to comply. I think you realize that we complied with every request that was made, and hopefully that might suffice. I understand the precedent aspect of it, but again, all we can do is follow the rule, and I think we try to follow the rule, and we have followed the rule. Actually, we didn't intentionally break the rule by installing the turf.
Thank you, Mr. DeFeo. Okay, to the board. Any questions or any comments? Mr. Cahalan?
Just your comment, I mean, I think that, this is a town board issue, and I hate to say that, but they need to legislate the code if they want this in the town. We've been given a code to interpret, and it's very clear for us in that code that the word turf doesn't play into it. So if this is the way the world is going, then we need to be given a code that we can do that with, and I don't think we have it right now. So,
Well stated. Mr. Cahalan, anything further?
no.
Mr. Miller?
No.
Mr. Conway?
No.
Okay. I think everyone's interpreted and stated how they read the application. and I'm no different. So let me make a motion to adjourn this matter for resolution at the next meeting. Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Cahalan, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you for your presentation. Okay, the last item on the calendar for tonight is the Tuckahoe Avenue application, that's 25-56, 63 Tuckahoe Avenue, name and address for the record, and please proceed.
Good evening. My name is Carlos Sosa Striver. I represent today Mrs. Catherine Rodriguez and Bartolomé Rodriguez. We propose one-story addition in the zone R6. The lot area is 22,830 square feet. The new addition will be 25 by 34 feet, and that is coming with 906 square feet. Our variant is required for the setback in the front setback. We propose 1949 feet. The zoning district requires a minimum front yard is 30 feet. The next site is a variance will be 5.1 or 35% as per section 4C5. The work involved one-story addition. It will be aligned with the existing building and the general lot in the block 2. We not change the pattern of the existing building in the lot in the neighborhood. I don't know if you have some questions I can answer.
Sure.
Yeah.
Thank you for your presentation, and your application's been reviewed by the board. Some of the board members have been to the premises, so you certainly don't need to read the whole thing. Mr. Cahalan, any questions or
No,
comments?
Yeah, just a comment. I wanted to commend the architect on the elevations. Sometimes we don't get it as well as they're documented in here, and that's always very helpful to me with additions. So I congratulate him on his drawings. They were very helpful in helping me in understanding where it's going.
Well, Mr. Cahalan's a very hard marker, so that is quite a compliment.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Don't say anything else, it could get worse. Anything else, Mr. Cahalan?
No, sir.
Mr. Miller?
None.
Mr. Conway?
No.
I have nothing at this time. I make a motion to open the matter to the public for hearings. Or a second?
Second.
Cahalan, all in favor?
Aye.
Seeing nobody, I'm going to make a motion to close the public hearing on this matter. Is there a second?
Second that.
Mr. Miller, all in favor? Aye. Back to the board because I'm required to. Mr. Cahalan?
Nothing further.
Miller?
Nope.
Mr. Conway?
Nothing further.
The only thing I have to state is that I thought it also was a very thorough application, and I think you've answered the five-part test to my satisfaction, including how it'll fit nicely into the neighborhood and actually be a positive. I have nothing other than to make a motion to adjourn this matter for resolution at the next meeting. Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Cahalan, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you for your
Thank
presentation.
you so much. Thank you. Good night.
Good night.
Thank you.
Okay, one last item. I'm going to make a motion to adjourn our meeting tonight for the next meeting, which was,
It's Wednesday, the 12th of November.
is it Wednesday?
Yes, because the 11th is Veterans Day.
Ah.
So town hall is closed.
I'm glad you, Council, thank you. So for the public, it's Wednesday, November 12th, 2025, not the Tuesday. Okay. Is there a second to my motion to adjourn? Mr. Cahalan, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Good night, everybody. Okay.